All right, Peacemaker season in review. Season 1, because there will be a season 2. Basically, we'll probably talk a little bit more about the last episode, and then we'll probably talk, season overall. How was it? So do you want to go first, or?
Sure.
Okay.
So for me, I think definitely the finale was really, really good. I think it absolutely stuck the land, like a 1,000,000% stuck the landing. Like, this is one of the most solid 8 episodes of TV that like we've gotten in a long time, let alone superhero TV.
Yeah.
Like I genuinely think this is the best. Like, if I had to put it, Jesus, what the hell? If I had to put, now I don't know if you'll agree with this because I know how much you love WandaVision. But like
WandaVision, yep.
if I had to put this show and like every MCU show that we've gotten so far, right, I would probably put this in number 1.
Oh wow! Okay.
Just purely because I think it tells the fullest story out of any of them. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of that is just down to how it was written, like we've talked about before. Like James Gunn just sat down and wrote these 8 scripts as a self-contained 8 scripts with no intention of a second season. He wrote them without even an intention of making it. He said this. He literally just wrote it as a writing exercise. And then basically there was a delay with Guardians. His people talked to HBO Max and they greenlit it. Like that. Like that's basically what happened. He literally wrote it without even intention of making it. So I feel like because of that, it is just such a whole and complete like story from start to finish that it just feels so satisfying. But then the episode specifically, I thought was amazing. I thought the action was great. Steve Agee as John Economos was like maybe like the MVP of the episode, like with the great speech of like about the. You're like you're having fans and people like tear up and like get emotional over this man like talking about dyeing his beard,
yeah.
Like, and you're like fuck, man. And then when the human formerly known as Fitzgibbon is like, humans can be so pathetic, and then like John is just like, yeah, and it's like, fuck, man, like Jesus.
And even
Christ.
during that speech when it's going back to John Cena and everybody,
and Peacemaker's like reaction, knowing like, oh man, because like genuinely Peacemaker did not like or think that Economos was like a good guy, so like he purposely wanted to make fun of him, but then like since what was like episode 5 or whatever, ironically when he kills the gorilla with the chainsaw, since they kind of like broed out and like we're cool with each other, I feel like it's almost one of those things, and this is all just conveyed like on John Cena's face. Like I feel like it's almost one of those things where it's like John Cena, like Peacemaker, almost like forgot how much of an asshole he was to John. You know what I mean? But like as soon as he says, like when he says, and that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was that until recently, he thought nobody noticed. I was like, fuck, man.
Yeah.
Like that is fucked up. Yeah, James Gunn is just such a good writer. And then everything with Harcourt, I was going through it. I was like, do not kill her. I was like, Jesus. And then the whole wrap-up finale thing with showing all the different people with Harcourt crying and them holding hands and stuff, like that was just so well done. Adebayo outing the Suicide Squad for the first time. That was like a big like actual like DC thing. I really, really loved it. And then of course the cameo, the best things to say about the cameos is just like No Way Home. I tweeted about this too. I was like, just like No Way Home, was the cameo awesome in this? Absolutely. Did it enhance the story? Absolutely. Did it have to be there in order for the story to like work? No. Like that, it only was there to add a cool moment and to be like
pay off a joke basically.
Exactly, yeah. And and I thought it was fantastic. I thought that the cameo was great. Which we could probably stop saying the cameo. Just the Justice League.
Now, interesting about this, and this is just a quick off-topic thing.
Mm-hmm.
Word on the street is that Netflix owns Henry Cavill's likeness, which Daniel pointed out to me. I've seen on Twitter. I don't know if it's actually like true. Which, and again, to me, that's like, well, I know, DC's kind of in and out with him as Superman, so they probably wouldn't put him in there anyway. But even if they were, would they be, is this why he's not appearing and stuff? Is because he just can't? Like, to me, it just seems a bit far-fetched that somebody
tendencies.
would read over a contract and be like, yeah, everything looks good.
Yeah.
And in small letters it says, we own your likeness until you're done with film, like the Witcher show.
I don't think they they can do that.
I have to read that somewhere. Like, I've just seen it on Twitter. Danielle mentioned it. I don't know if it's actually true, but again, he already has that kind of, the whole DC thing where he wants to come back, it seems like, and they're kind of like more hesitant. They want to move a different direction.
Like, I think no matter what happened in this, with people going, why isn't Batman and Cyborg there and you didn't show?
Apparently Cyborg was in it originally.
Well, yeah, apparently. So, they go. Well, how come
Cyborg?
Cyborg and Batman aren't in it? How come you don't show Henry and Gal? How come you only actually show Arthur and Barry?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was nothing more than Batman is in some real murky timeline territory, which is, we technically don't really know exactly. Well, we know that Peacemaker takes place 6 months after Suicide Squad, but we don't really know when Suicide Squad takes place. So, like, we don't really know what Batman it should be. So they probably said, hey, let's just take Batman out of there just to keep it less complicated. Cyborg, I don't know. I don't know with Cyborg, but yes, apparently it was shot with all of them. It was shot with with the 6 of them. That I think there's even an actual picture of the Cyborg and Batman like stand-in actors in costume.
Oh yeah, of course they wouldn't put Ray Fisher in there. No way.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like, Cyborg, I can't really explain. Maybe they just have plans for it, or maybe they don't have plans for it, or something. I'm not sure. But then I think it just came down to as simple as Henry is, he's elbow deep filming Witcher stuff right now. He's not going to be available to film a cameo. Gal Gadot is not filming anything right now, I don't think, unless maybe they're filming like that Cleopatra movie. Oh no, you know what their film is? Snow White. Didn't they? I think they started filming.
Oh, they started that.
So like she's not available, and then Ezra and Arthur were both available.
Yeah.
Ezra and Arthur. Ezra and Jason Momoa were both available and filming.
It is a Flash joke, if I recall.
Yeah. It's an Aquaman joke, but that Flash makes.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's all you needed.
Yeah.
That's all you needed. I don't know. I feel like people like go crazy.
I thought that was great though. I was like, oh shit, like that. That was dope.
Yeah.
But yeah, is that all you want to say about the episode?
Yeah, I just really, really well done. Super excited for season 2. Yeah.
For me, I thought pretty much echo everything you said. I thought the finale was excellent. That kind of emotional beat hit with Economos, the whole dye-beard thing, I thought was great. The action scenes were fantastic. Yeah. The choreography.
Oh, and the helmet stuff.
The helmet stuff was
I forgot
awesome.
About that. Yeah.
Specifically when he kicks, I forget what he does with his shield, where he like kicks it into somebody's neck or something. You know what I'm talking about? I forget exactly what he does exactly, but it looks really cool. All like that whole thing with the human torpedo was very fun. And the way they would make it sound, I thought like if you used it, you died. So I was like, oh, is she gonna like die?
Yeah.
Like she said when she uses it twice. Like,
yeah.
when she uses the first time, I was like, oh,
That's
really,
what I
that's
thought.
really funny. Like,
That's what I thought originally.
Yeah.
I think it was more just he's never used it
right.
before.
The way he worded it, I was
Yeah.
like, oh, does that mean you die if you
Yeah,
use
he
it?
was like, you only use that one if you're okay with possibly breaking every bone in your body.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? But I think that was more of a, he's like, that's the one I never use because I don't want to fucking risk it. But it's like really probably okay.
Yeah. I thought that was all great. And then I was like a little unsure. Because I knew, like, you know, you kind of know at this point Peacemaker's kind of turned a page. He's trying to be better. He's trying to be this better person. But when, you know, she's giving him that, you know, we're doing this for you. We're trying to make sure you don't kill yourselves.
Yeah.
Which, again, could kind of be a lie. You never know.
Yeah.
But when he just is like, activate human torpedo, and she like flies into the cow, and she like comes tumbling down to this blood. I was like, oh, that's disgusting. I was like, that was so cool.
Yeah.
Everything just, you know, worked for me, and of course the ending with Harcourt and Peacemaker at the end, that was great.
Also, I feel like both of us haven't mentioned. Well, you might have, but I didn't even mention. Vigilante was great.
Vigilante was great. Yeah, but especially
I thought he was
when
dead.
I thought he was dead too,
got
and
shot,
then he's like still walking, like,
he just
I'm
shows
fine.
up and he's like,
I'm fine.
Like, hey guys, what did I miss? And I was like, what?
Yeah. And in the end, I thought it left actually kind of like a, okay, like this is kind of like he still has demons because Robert Patrick is sitting there next to him on the porch. So he's still in his head.
I loved like how subtle that was.
Yeah. And he's kind of like looking off like, you know, fuck, I still have to deal with this. And so I think that's probably going to be something that leads. It might be where he has like a constant kind of devil on his shoulder.
Yeah.
You know, saying one thing and this other thing. Even though he kind of, you know, I think he does love his dad, but he also really hates him. So I think it's going to be that kind of, you know, 50-50, which one do I listen to and how do I get this guy out of my head?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm so excited for season 2.
And it'll be a nice way to bring Robert Patrick back.
yeah, exactly. So overall for the season, I'll say like season 1 hit it out of the park. I'd say this might be like the best superhero show ever. Close to it. For me personally, I think even like if you're just
like that, I can think of what's come out.
Yeah. So I give everything 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5. Fantastic. Can't wait for season 2.
Yeah. Great. Awesome. So that was our Peacemaker review. Boom.